In the thick forest of Adjumako District in the central region is where we can find Enyan Amoanda. And this is where one man, Dr. Kwesi Asabir, has chosen to impact on the lives of the inhabitants of this very community. Dr. Kwesi Asabir believes when one is given the necessary support, he or she can prepare to greatness. And for this reason, he has been able to put up a full kindergarten block which starts from nursery, KG1, KG2, and offices for the community. Among them also, he has been able to start a storey building to house the primary school, which will begin from class 1 to classes. He also envisaged to add another block which will house the junior high schools and a possible block for senior high schools. Dr. Kwesi Asabir, aside impacting in the education sector, has also been able to start a blog to provide healthcare for Enyan Amoanda people and its surrounding villages. To add to that, in terms of its spiritual support, Dr. Kwesi Asabir first of all put up this burden, as we see, the church burden, to provide religious guidance and support for the people of Enyan Amoanda and its surrounding communities. Now let's listen to Dr. Kwesi Asabir for him to explain his vision and what motivated him to relocate to this deep forest and start such an impactful journey with the people of Enyan Amoanda.
My name is Dr. Kwesi Asabir, and I just want to share what motivated me to come to this community. My father comes from Enyan District, a community within this district. He was born somewhere in 1918. The mother died 1921. But the stepmother comes from this community. And the stepmother opted to take care of my father 1921. Little did my step grandmother knew she was sowing a seed to transform the community as far back as 1921. So when my father grew up and died somewhere 2012 at the age of 94, I decided to do something spectacular for the Enyan District Methodist Church. But my wife said we should pray over what I'm doing, whether it is the will of God for us to do that assignment. When I prayed, God rather said I should come to where my father grew up from the infancy and put up a Bible-believing church, which I obeyed. So 2013, I came to this community and told the people living in this community that God has touched my heart to establish a Bible-believing church. They thought I was joking. So what I did was that we prayed over it. They gave me this land. I bought the land and I took a loan from the Barclays back then, over 100,000 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to $30,000 then, payable over 5-year period. That's 60 months. When I started paying, I went into difficulty. And I was asking my wife, I'm just a layman. I'm not into any ministry. Why should God push me to come and build such a temple at my own cost? I'm now struggling to pay back the loan. In fact, when the Methodist Church heard what I have done, they were very amazed. And they asked me what motivated me, like you are asking me today. And I said, well, my father died as a Methodist at the age of 94. And I wanted to do something spectacular in his honor. And this is what the Lord said I should do. So they went through the process, and at conference agreed that the temple should be named after my father. So the temple is called Kwesi Asabir Memorial Methodist Chapel. So that is how come the name of the temple came to be. After paying the loan from 2013 to 2018, the Lord told me that I will never take a loan in my lifetime. He's going to take care of my family and take care of any project that I decide I will embark upon. I thought the Lord was joking. He said, look, put up a school. So I just decided to put up a 4-classroom block. Nursery, KG1, KG2, and headmistress office. The pioneers of this nursery started school 2018. When they started, I told God that, why should I be investing in such a deprived community? No returns. God said, look, I should do it in his name, not in the name of any individual. Silver and gold belongs to him. He will always meet me at the point of my need. I should test him and share a testimony that whatever you are doing, if you do it with the love of God and you do it to glorify God, he will also glorify you. So I built this school. The pioneers started, and God told me that the pioneers of this school from 2018 should never leave this land with the aim of going to continue their education somewhere else. So I should build a facility for lower and upper primary. So I decided to continue. By the grace of God, individuals came to my aid. Some didn't even know that they were supporting me to come and build a school. They just give me support, and God tells me that this support you have had from this individual, it is not for you and your family. It is for you to go and do my business. And through that support, we can now boast of a classroom, 6-classroom block, which is a store building, the first of its kind in the whole Adjumako Enyan District. The public schools in this district can never boast of a store building where you have the lower and upper primary free of charge. We can boast of over 100 of these people. As we speak now, the pioneers of this school who started their education in this school from the nursery level 2018 are now in class 3. Somewhere September, they will move into the upper primary, which is class 4. We can say to the glory of God that we already have classrooms available for class 5 and class 6. So the pioneers even have 2 classrooms ahead of them, 2 years ahead of them. And God is telling me that by the time they get to class 6, there will be another facility which will be for JHS up to from JHS 1 to 3 and then SHS 1 to 3. After that, I'll see a university within this environment. Look, there is nothing that is beyond God. He says he's the God of all flesh. There is nothing too hard for him to do. So God is telling me that my Christian life, my faith in God should never be shaken. My faith in Jesus Christ should never be shaken. I should never doubt what the Holy Spirit can do. So this is my spiritual headquarters. This is a spiritual clinic. This is a spiritual pilot area. I come here and I see the handiwork of God beyond my own imagination and understanding. The year 2020 post-COVID, God said, look, I want you to move to another direction. What is the direction? I want you to have a medical facility here. We have started the foundation. We have gone to the first floor. We have floated the first floor. We are going to build another store building. One will ask, where do you get this money from? God touches the heart of people who come to my aid. And the interesting thing is that those who come to my aid don't come with the aim of coming to support me build a hospital or support me build a school. They just give me the support and God will talk to me. This is not your money. So it is just being an obedient to the silent voice of God. And the District Director of Education today is just appreciating what I did.
Proud demonstration of the edifice. We personally took responsibility of the uniforms and daily feeding of over 200 students. The teachers also received daily meals and monthly financial support. We have also directly and personally ensured the recruitment of appropriate personnel to fill the vacancies in the school. Again, you have provided free school uniforms, books, and teaching and learning resources for the learners. You also supported the intra-circuit reading competition that selected competitors for those reading festival. Dr. Asabir, you have proved beyond doubt that the advancement of society lies in preparing the young generation for challenges ahead. Your donation of football to the District Education Directorate, schools around Amoanda community speak volumes of your faith in holistic development of learners. It is in recognition of these acts of philanthropy and your fight to give humanity every possible opportunity to fully develop that the Adjumako Enyan District Directorate confers this citation of appreciation and recognition to you. Thank you for your commitment, Dr. Asabir.
She came to this community, heard the story, and she was so amazed. There are few people I need to also appreciate. The current Bishop of Cape Coast, Bishop Andam, I will say, was the project manager of this facility. I was then a member of Gethsemane Methodist Church in Accra, and he happens to be our superintendent minister. When I had the dream, when I had the calling, when God said I should come to this community, I told my superintendent minister, and then the society reverend minister, Sofu PCA, the three of us prayed, and God told us clearly that he has told me to come. I shouldn't fear, I shouldn't look back, I shouldn't think he will walk with me and leave me midway. He's already a winner. I should just come to a very deprived community and see what he can use his powers to do. I can tell and testify that I wish every individual, before you start anything, ask God whether what you are going to do is the will of God, and whether God is prepared to lead you. I tell you, success will be yours, because I have seen it. I can testify within 10 years the kind of development this community has had. It is now a community that people come to see and ask, what motivated me to come to this community to do what I'm doing? So this is what I can say in a brief. That when I started investing so much in this community, I needed to seek approval from my wife and my children, because after a hard day's work, you go home and you should be received by your wife and your children. I called them and I said, look, God has said I should invest in his kingdom. This is God's business, and if you are going to invest in a business that you are assured you never see lost, then you invest with every penny you have. Because if the business is lucrative, you know it can pay off. My children say, Daddy, we are prepared. Invest, take the risk. So the dividends, the paying off started when 2021, my firstborn had scholarship to go to Edinburgh to pursue his master's. So he is currently there. My second and third born, no, my third and fourth, I have only 4 biological children, but I have adopted over 25 other children in my house, and I'm supporting them to ensure that their destiny and the purpose for which God created them come to pass. My firstborn called me and said, Daddy, I was in a train when I met a medical student who is pursuing pediatrics and cardiology. And this medical student said he had support to go to Africa to organize workshops free of charge to tell people how to handle emergencies. When people are unconscious, when people are choked, when they are injured, the basic things to do. Because she sees that in life, there is a thin line between life and death. When you are within the life zone and you think that you can never cross to the death zone, something tiny may happen. Within a second, you can cross. And when you cross to the death zone, nobody can resurrect you again. So this lady was having a discussion with my son. And my son, look, I have a miraculous father. And I want to link you up to my miraculous father. And my son called me that, Daddy, you have a foundation, Asabir Foundation. You have never exposed anybody to your foundation. You have never partnered with anybody. Daddy, I want you to partner with this medical students in the United Kingdom. Daddy, accept the woman. The woman has nothing. She's a student. All she can afford is tickets to Ghana and back. She was looking for a country in Africa, and I've recommended Ghana. And I know you can host her, support her stay from 11th July to 4th August. I say, look, I've been looking after so many people, I don't even know their parents. Not to talk about 1 or 2 people coming from UK. So this is how come the medical student came. And when I listened to what she had to offer, I had no option than to give her all the support. In fact, when we started contacting some heads of institutions in Accra, we realized that the workshop was oversubscribed. Yesterday, they were at the Ministry of Health Basic School at Kolebu, Accra. Over 1,300 students were taught these skills of first aid. And I told her that, look, you can never leave Ghana without coming to this deprived community. I'll bring you, because this is where the story started. This district, and coincidentally, the district director invited me to come for an appreciation. I was in Jirapa meeting the principals of health institutions in Ghana to discuss this year's admission to nursing school. As the director of human resource, I ought to be there. I went there, gave my presentation, and because of this program, I had to cut short my visit to Jirapa, drove to Wa, took aircraft to Accra, and dawn I came here. So this is an opportunity that was actually initiated by my son in UK, and the lady willingly came. What I'm hearing is that some of the institutions in UK, she's communicating, and they know that, oh, there are good people in Ghana. Because the information I had was that you go out there, for blacks, they will deceive you, take your money, and say they are going to help poor people, and they chop. For 10 years, nobody has supported me from my own pocket. So if I'm helping people from my own pocket, I wonder when somebody gives me money to help poor people, I'll chop it. For 10 years, I've realized that it is joy to help people who cannot pay you back. I'll just tell my friend that I've come to realize God didn't create us to be selfish. God didn't create us to think of ourselves and our families. God created us to bring smiles to the vulnerable in community. God created us to make sure that through us, transformation can happen. If everybody in a better position think the way I'm thinking by the grace of God, I say Ghana will be a better place for us to live in. Thank you very much.